Hi, my name is Jessica, and I am a 55-year-old financial planner. In the quiet hum of my early morning routine, as I sift through bills and budgets, I reflect on my life, a life intertwined with my husband. Anthony, with his easy charm and a troubled penchant for gambling, has shaped our marriage into a partnership of not just love, but also financial challenges. When I married Anthony, I was fully aware of the debts he inherited from his parents. Anthony's father, Mr. Jacob, who is 70 years old, and his mother, Emma, who is 66, have always been reckless with money, a trait they unfortunately passed on to their son. Despite the warnings from friends and the whispers of doubt in my mind, I believed in us. I believed I could help Anthony manage his finances and steer our ship through turbulent waters. Each morning, as I prepare for the day, I make sure to set aside money to slowly chip away at the mounting debts. The numbers on the spreadsheets are stark, yet they tell a story of perseverance. I pay Anthony's debts with a diligence that my mother would have been proud of. She taught me the value of saving and planning from a very young age. Today, like any other day, I am ready to tackle our financial woes with a steadfast resolve. However, the growing strain of this financial burden is palpable, and as I look at our family photos on the wall, I wonder about the future. The promise of a peaceful retirement seems more like a distant dream with each passing day. As I close my laptop and get ready to start my day, I hold on to a sliver of hope. Hope that my efforts will not be in vain, hope that Anthony and I can overcome the shadows cast by his family's past. It's a hope that keeps me going, keeps me fighting for a better tomorrow. My mornings are often interrupted by phone calls from Anthony's parents. Anthony's father, Mr. Jacob, often discusses his old gambling days, lamenting lost opportunities and hinting at needs for money. His mother, Emma, echoes these sentiments, subtly praising the times when money flowed like water at their home. Their influence on Anthony is undeniable and troubling. Today, the phone rings again. Anthony speaks in hushed tones, his face lined with concern. Mr. Jacob has suffered a minor stroke. The news pulls at my heartstrings. Despite everything, they are his parents. As Anthony hangs up, his eyes meet mine, filled with a silent plea for understanding and support. We both know this means he will want to help them more, not just emotionally but financially. As the weeks pass, Anthony's visits to his parents become more frequent. Each visit increases his distance from me, his mind clouded with the manipulative tales spun by Mr. Jacob and Emma. They paint a picture of dire medical bills and living expenses that they can't manage on their pension. I see the trap unfolding, but my warnings fall on deaf ears. Anthony is caught between his loyalty to them and his responsibilities towards our own future. Each discussion about finances becomes a battlefield. Anthony, influenced by his parents, argues for more generosity, more aid. I stand firm, advocating for prudence and reminding him of our own needs and the debts we still nurse. It's a recurring struggle, one that strains our marriage further. In this chapter of our lives, the influence of Mr. Jacob and Emma is a constant shadow over our home. Their needs, real or exaggerated, are slowly siphoning the peace from our marriage, making every decision a tug-of-war between past obligations and future security. As autumn deepens, the leaves blanket the ground with a crisp, golden layer, and Anthony's visits to his parents become an almost daily ritual. Each departure is shadowed by a new tension, each return cloaked in a somber silence that fills our home and slowly erodes the warmth we once shared. One evening, as the last of the day's light fades, Anthony returns with a troubled look that precedes bad news. He reveals another request for money. His parents' medical expenses are supposedly spiraling. The urgency in his voice tugs at my heart, but a nagging doubt whispers warnings in my mind. With a heavy heart, I consent to yet another withdrawal, the numbers on our account dwindling as swiftly as the autumn leaves. The pattern of requests grows predictable, urgent, desperate, and increasingly large. Anthony's explanations become vague, his visits to the bank more secretive. A gnawing suspicion takes root in my mind, compelling me to uncover the truth behind these so-called medical emergencies. One crisp morning, driven by this growing suspicion, I decide to follow Anthony. I watch from a distance as he meets not only his parents, but also some familiar faces from his gambling past. Their interactions are animated, marked by the exchange of envelopes and hurried nods. It becomes painfully clear that this isn't just about medical bills, it's a calculated manipulation, exploiting familial ties to fuel a hidden agenda. With a heavy heart, I return home, the pieces of a painful puzzle falling into place. Anthony, once again entangled in the world of gambling, has been drawn into a scheme crafted by those he trusted most. As I sit alone in the fading light of our living room, I realize that I must prepare for the possibility of a deeper betrayal. This deception cuts deeper than any financial loss. It threatens the very foundation of our trust. One chilly morning, with the dawn barely breaking, I notice Anthony is up unusually early. His movements are quiet, a careful precision to them that I haven't seen before. As he makes coffee, his hands shake slightly, a visible tension in his posture. The air feels heavy, laden with unspoken words. "Jess, I need to talk to you about something," he starts, avoiding my gaze. His voice is unsteady, a contrast to his usual confidence. He tells me he has found out about the savings account I've been keeping, the one with $300,000, meant as our safety net. His eyes dart around, not settling. I feel a chill run down my spine. "What about it, Anthony?" I ask, trying to keep my voice steady. He swallows hard, his next words tumbling out in a rush. "I need it, Jess. It's the only way I can settle everything once and for all." The room spins a little as I process his words. Betrayal stings sharply, its edge cruel and cold. But I am prepared. Last night, after confirming my suspicions about the gambling, I had moved the money to a secure online account, beyond his reach. Anthony continues, oblivious to my actions. "I'm taking the savings. I have to do this." His declaration hangs between us, stark and final. I nod slowly, masking the turmoil inside. "Okay, Anthony," I say quietly, watching as he grabs the keys to the safe and my wallet. He doesn't notice the absence of fear in my eyes. Hours later, the house is painfully silent. I find the divorce papers on the dining table, stark and official. The vault is open, emptied of its contents, but it doesn't matter. The real money is safe, untouched. Sitting alone, I turn on the pet camera footage. There, on the screen, Anthony and his parents sift through the papers and empty boxes, their faces a mix of confusion and frustration. They don't understand. They didn't anticipate this move. As the sun rises higher, casting light on the remnants of a life I thought I knew, I feel a strange relief. The betrayal, though painful, has not defeated me. It has freed me to start anew, without the chains of deceit that had unknowingly bound me for too long. The morning sun casts a soft glow across the room, its light a stark contrast to the turmoil inside me. I sit quietly at the kitchen table, the remnants of Anthony's betrayal laid out in front of me, the empty safe, his missing wallet, the cold, official divorce papers. But amidst the chaos, I hold onto a secret that anchors my resolve. Hours earlier, Anthony had revealed his intention to leave, believing he could take our life savings with him. He didn't know that I had already moved the $300,000 to an inaccessible online account. The vault he thought contained our future was empty, a fitting metaphor for the shell our marriage had become. As he left, I remained composed, a silent observer to the unraveling of a life we built together. Now alone, I activate the pet camera I had installed, not out of mistrust, but as a precaution to keep an eye on our home while at work. The screen flickers to life, showing me the scene of Anthony and his parents discovering the reality of their plan, the vault, barren and echoing their shock and disbelief. Their faces, captured in the grainy footage, shift from confusion to frustration. They search every corner of the safe, unable to comprehend the emptiness. Unseen, I watch, the bitter satisfaction mingling with the ache of betrayal. They had not only underestimated my foresight, but also my resolve. Now, with the truth laid bare and the future uncertain, I take the first steps toward independence. The legal groundwork for the divorce is straightforward, the evidence of his attempt at theft irrefutable. As I gather the documents and file the necessary reports, I feel the weight of the past years begin to lift. The betrayal intended to break me has instead freed me. As I watch the morning light grow brighter, illuminating paths once shadowed by doubt and deceit, I prepare to walk forward alone, stronger and unburdened by the weight of unshared secrets and broken promises. The house is quiet, a stark reminder of the void Anthony's departure has left. But within the silence, there's a newfound clarity, a resolve to reclaim what's rightfully mine, not just financially, but in spirit and dignity as well. I spend the morning at the lawyer's office, the crisp sound of pages turning as we review the divorce papers. With each signature, I sever another tie to Anthony. The evidence of his theft is laid out meticulously: copies of bank statements, the empty safe, and the video footage from the pet camera. It's all undeniable, and my lawyer assures me the case for divorce and claims for emotional distress is strong. After the meeting, I drive back home, the route familiar yet different, as if I'm seeing it all for the first time as a new woman. I pull into the driveway, feeling the weight of the wedding ring on my finger. With a decisive motion, I slide it off. It's heavy in my palm, laden with memories and broken promises. At home, I begin the process of rearranging my life. Financial documents are reorganized, personal accounts secured, and new investments planned. Each action is a step towards independence, a declaration of my ability to survive and thrive on my own terms. I also reach out to community groups, reconnecting with old friends and engaging with new ones. It's time to rebuild, not just my finances, but my social life, my personal interests, my inner peace. As the sun sets, casting long shadows across the garden I once tended with Anthony, I realize that this is not just an end, but a beginning. A betrayal that was meant to strip me of everything has instead paved the way for a future where I am the sole architect of my fate. The early morning light filters through the curtains, casting a warm glow on the kitchen where I now sit alone, sipping my coffee. The silence of the house, once heavy with betrayal, now feels peaceful, filled with potential. Today marks a significant chapter in my life, the finalization of my divorce from Anthony and the last legal tie severed. With the divorce decree in hand, a document that officially ends our union, I feel a profound sense of relief. It's done. The legal battles, the painful revelations, all behind me now. I take a deep breath, allowing myself to truly feel the freedom that comes with this new status. I spend the morning reorganizing my living space, removing remnants of Anthony's presence. Each item sorted and boxed feels like shedding layers of a past life. I donate some, sell others, and cherish a few memories that remind me of who I was and who I've become. In the afternoon, my son Stephen comes over. Seeing him walk through the door, a young man who has chosen to stand by me, reinforces the strength of our bond. We talk about the future, about his plans and my aspirations. It's a conversation filled with hope and mutual respect, far removed from the deceit that clouded recent years. Together, we decide to host a small gathering in the coming weeks, a celebration of new beginnings. Invitations are sent to close friends and family who supported me through this ordeal. It's more than a party, it's a statement that I am moving forward, embraced by a community that values truth and integrity. As the day winds down, I step out into the garden, where the last light of the day touches the blooms that have managed to thrive despite the neglect. I tend to them, pruning and nurturing, much like I am doing with my life. This garden, like me, will flourish again, rooted in the strength and resilience that come from surviving the storm. The betrayal that once threatened to break me has instead broken the chains that bound me. Now, I look forward to crafting a life filled with authenticity and joy, building a future on my terms, one day at a time.